evening, folks, and welcome to another main event podcast. I'm Carl, your host, and I'm joined by my boy up in Canada, Costa. Costa, how you doing today?
Everything's good, boss. Everything's good. I had a little bit of a headache before, but now I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So hopefully it stays that way. Just excited to talk about the week that wasn't wrestling. So yeah, let's get to it, man.
We got wrestling plus the UFC and combat sports we got to talk about.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
So I'm going to get right into the UFC. You have UFC fight tomorrow night right here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And this young lady, Miss Erin Blanchfield, she is ranked number 2 in the UFC.
Wow.
In the women's flyweight, she's going up against Marion Ferret from France.
Is that the lady you know, just by any chance?
Yeah. That is the lady from my hometown of Elmwood Park, New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is the main event for tomorrow night. So let's get into her matchup. Okay, I'm going to give you the statistics between height, weight, age, and all that.
Sure.
So on Erin, her height is 5'4", 125 pounds, 24 years old. The reach of 66 inches. Her opponent, Marion, is 5'7", 125 pounds, which is perfect. Her age is 34. It's a 10-year difference and has a 65-inch range. So in the reach. So it's an inch difference.
Wow.
Now, the stance is orthodox stance on both of them.
Okay.
The let's see. The submission rate, average is 1.19 for Erin. There is nothing for Marion.
Okay.
So this is going to be an interesting one. Now, if Erin wins, she actually earns the right to go for the belt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is going to be perfect. Now, mind you, this is on ESPN Plus and ESPN.
Okay. So, yeah. Wow, internationally televised. That's good.
Yes. Good. So, I mean, it's the card looks stacked. I'll just give you the rest of the main card.
Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
You have Vincent Luques from Brazil versus Joaquin Buckley from the United States.
Okay.
Then you have Chris Wadham from the United States versus Bruno Salvia from Brazil.
Okay.
That's going to be a good one. Because Silva's on a hot streak in a way. So real quick, between Weidman and Sylvia, Weidman is at 15-7.
Yeah.
Where Sylvia is 23-10.
Okay, give me. I'll take Sylvia in that one. Yeah.
You know what? Let's do this.
Let's write it down. Yeah, let's write it down.
Okay, going back to the women. Who do you want?
I'll take Miss Elmwood, New Jersey.
Okay, so you're going with Erin.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I. And we'll also, at our next show, next week, we will talk about this.
Yeah.
We will see who actually got the right ones.
We'll follow up. Yeah.
All right, so second one is Luques versus Buckley. Who are you taking?
I'll take Luques.
You're going to take Luques?
Yeah.
Luque. Okay, I'm going to go with... You know what? I'm going to go with him, too.
Okay.
Then who are you going to go with, Weidman and Silva? Silva, you said?
Yeah, Silva, yeah.
Same?
Okay.
Then you have... Oh, boy. I'm going to try and pronounce the last name. Okay?
All right.
Razbova versus Dumas. Now, this is the interesting part.
Okay.
Rasbuva is 35-8-2, and Dumas is only 9-1.
Okay, then give me 35-8-2 then. Yeah,
Yeah.
more experience.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to go with the underdog on this one.
Okay.
Then you have Bill Algo versus Kyle Nelson. 18-7 versus 15-5-1.
15-7. Yeah, yeah.
So you're going to go with Nelson. 15-5-1.
Nelson. Yeah, Nelson. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm going to go with the 18-7. I'm going to go with Algo.
Okay.
Then you have Chad Najingo, 22-10 versus Reyes McGee, who's Irish, 13-5-1.
22. Sorry. The first one. The first pick.
Yeah, the one that I couldn't pronounce right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually going to go with the Irishman. I'm going to go with McGee.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, McKee. Sorry.
Okay.
That's the main card. The preliminaries, I'm not going to write down. It's just going to be your and I picked.
Okay.
Oh, folks, I forgot to tell you. We actually have a guest on later on in their show. So you don't want to miss that one. And that's when we come back from our commercial.
Oh, boy.
Can't wait for this one.
Yeah.
So for preliminary, it's Nate Landwehr, who is 17-5 versus Jamal Emrys, 20-7.
Give me Jamal.
Okay. Then you have your women. Verana Janabera, who is Brazil, with 19-3 versus Lupe Ganza, who is 12-3.
Janabera.
Okay. Then you have Julio Aris, who's an American, 18-6 versus Herbert Burns, 11-4, who is Brazilian.
11-4, who is Brazilian.
Okay. Next one, we have Dennis Berjak, who is American at 11-4 versus Connor Matthews, 7-1.
11-4. Yeah.
I'm actually going to go with, well, they're both Americans, so okay, it doesn't matter there. I'm going to go with Matthews in this one. Then you have Ibon Asailan, 12-1 versus Anton Turkal, 8-3.
Asailan.
Okay. Then you have Veronica Dakova, who's 8-0 versus Melissa Gatto, who's 8-2-2.
8-2-2.
Okay. Then you have Andre Petrisco, 10-3 versus Jacob McCallan, 7-3.
10-3.
Angel Pecaro, 7-2 versus Colin LeGarin, 8-1.
Colin LeGarin.
Okay. So that is your card for tomorrow night.
Okay.
Now, also in UFC news, we have this gentleman right here, Mr. Conor McGregor, making the headlines again, stating that the match with Michael Chandler will be held this summer.
Wow. Okay. I can't wait for that.
And you know what? In a way, it's a return, but how many times are we going to see this stuff?
I know. Yeah, the Conor McGregor shtick has kind of fallen flat lately, or since the previous one, whenever it was years ago. But let's see. He might come back refreshed and ready to go. So let's see. Let's see.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then we also have a couple of good news here. Dana White announces their June 22nd card in Saudi Arabia, and they actually announced the main event.
Yes, that's a card that I'm excited about. That is a card I'm excited about. That's gonna be
And it
incredible.
will air free on ABC.
Free on ABC. Make sure you all tune in to that. It's gonna be an
Oh, I'm
amazing
definitely going to
card.
watch that one. I'm definitely
Yeah,
going to watch this.
yeah. June 22nd. The main event I'm reading here is Whitaker versus Chimaev. So that's gonna be
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. I can't wait to see this one.
It's gonna be live, free
Yep.
on ABC, June 22nd. Make
So
sure you
here's
all
the
tune in.
other 4 fights announced so far. Is
Okay.
Pavlovich versus Volkov,
Yeah.
Gastelum versus Rodriguez,
Yeah. Yeah.
Walker versus oh god,
What?
Odesmer,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
and then Magnadov versus Petrea.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So
Wow.
those are
Okay.
the
Okay.
4 matches already confirmed besides the main event card for the card.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It'll take place in Saudi Arabia, so
Yes.
it's gonna be the atmosphere there is gonna be incredible, man. It's gonna be
They're
incredible.
insane. I'm going to be honest with you. They're worse than the United States.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh man, this guy.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be flipping incredible, man. Flipping incredible. Without swearing.
Also, too, coming out of UFC, you have, and this guy is stupid, Walt Harris tested positive for steroids. And I believe you and I spoke about this at the last show, but I'm
Yes,
bringing it up
yes,
again.
yeah.
4-year ban. How
Oh
stupid
Jesus.
can you be?
Oh Jesus Christ. Well, that just means he couldn't fight anymore with his natural strength. I mean, so that's what it means. He needed
But,
to be done a long time ago.
but my question is, why would you sit there and take different steroids, multiple steroids, and lose all that money that you were going to make out of a fight?
I don't know. People are just stupid.
You're getting paid good money to fight, and now you just blew it away for 4 years.
Yeah. The people get to believe it or not, people get addicted to that kind of shit. So I'm not surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised. But
I mean,
you
no
know,
offense, I've had to take medical steroids for injuries. Okay, but
yeah.
they prescribed it to me. I took it one day, and I'm like, no, I can't do this stuff because you get
Really?
addicted to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. It's
And
an
actually, the
addiction
only
thing.
time I really did take the prescription steroids is when I had a cold.
Yeah.
I had an infection in the lungs.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm not going
When
to sit there and inject myself with steroids to build up. Get your ass into the gym.
I know. When Mr. Roberts gets sick, he sounds like a chipmunk. His voice starts sounding like a chipmunk. So yeah.
UFC is also announcing UFC 305 is heading to Australia. Perth,
Really? Wow.
Australia.
Okay. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
So this is going to be Sunday, August 18th. As of right now, I do not see a card for that. So stay tuned, folks, because you know what? Starting next week, or maybe the week after, we're going to start having matches at the bottom that we think you guys should watch. The card, the name of the card, and then which organization. UFC or MMA, bare knuckle fighting. It's all going to be at the bottom of the screen. You want to check that out.
Yeah. Because like we said, the June 22nd card is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, we should start doing that too.
That's going to be a banger of a card.
Yeah, definitely, man. I can't wait for that. Actually,
no, I can't either.
that is one card that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely.
So, and then, well, let's see. Today's the 29th. I think we talked about this. I'm not sure. But Rosa Namajunas gets past Amanda Rebus for first flyweight win. This was posted on the 24th.
Okay, so maybe we didn't talk about it. Yeah, I don't
No,
remember
because you know
that.
what? This was Friday night fight night, which I think took place on Saturday.
Okay,
This past Saturday.
Okay.
But the decision was a unanimous decision in the main event of UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas.
Oh, it's a recap. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So Namajunas, 12-6, a two-time UFC champion at strawweight, ended a two-bout losing streak. Two of the judges gave Namajunas 4 of the 5 rounds. The other judge scored 3 in her favor.
Okay. So does that count as a win then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. She's ranked number 9.
All right.
In the flyweight division, she's ranked number 9.
Wow.
And Rebus, who is ranked 9th in the strawweight, was able to score 4 takedowns, but she ended up on bottom position in all but one occasion. So Rebus was basically being used as a mop.
Okay. Yeah, I think I had a feeling that Namajunas would win. Yeah, I think I chose her at that time too. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, last week I think I chose her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't write it down, so I don't know.
Exactly. Fights. Let's go into the bare knuckle fighting.
Okay.
Let's see. Events coming up. You have tonight. Should be shortly in New Mexico. Bare knuckle fighting club 59.
Yes.
Let's see if I can pull up the cards just to see who the card is for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, the main event bout, the championship bout, is Dobson versus Aguero.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with if I didn't choose already, I'm gonna go with Aguero. Yeah.
Right, and I think we actually spoke about this because if I'm not mistaken, one of them is. No, we didn't talk about this fight.
Okay.
And then you have the co-main event is Sanchez versus Davison.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Sanchez. Yeah.
Then you have McElroy versus Curring.
I'll go with McElroy. Yeah.
Then Coca versus War.
I'll go with War. Yeah.
Then you have Lester versus Richardson.
Give me Richardson. Yeah.
Ettenberg versus Vo.
Vo. I'll go with Vo.
Then you have Sanchez versus Street.
I'll go with Street.
Okay. And let's go back to the next card, which would be next Saturday, April 6th. And that one is in the UK.
Okay.
So if you want, I'm going to write this down. Let's write this down.
Okay. Yeah, let's write it down. Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Sure.
So, we're going to go with the main card first.
Yeah, okay.
Preliminaries, we're not going to write down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So, main card, your championship day bout is Lily versus Tangela. Tangela. Sorry.
I'll go with Lily.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Tangela.
Okay.
Then the light heavyweight championship bout is Christie versus Round. And Christie is your champion. Looks like. Yes.
Yeah, give me a retention for Christie.
You know what? I'm going to say the same thing.
Okay.
Then the next one is featherweight championship bout, Fox versus Shepard.
I'll go with Fox.
I'm going to go with Shepard.
All right.
Then your next one is the light heavyweight, Wessemer versus Hodgins.
I'll go with Hodgins.
Sorry, Hodginson. Yeah, well, whatever.
Oh, Hodginson. Yeah, Hodginson. Yeah.
I'm going to go the same.
Okay.
Then you have your bantamweight, Chip Chase versus Brown.
I'll go with Brown.
You're going with Brown?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Chip Chase.
Okay.
Then the next one is your cruiserweight. It is Oscar versus Cook.
I'll go with Oscar. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Cook.
Okay.
Then you have cruiserweight, McIntosh versus Boardman.
I'll go with McIntosh.
Same. Lightweight, Booner versus Pitterful. Or, sorry, Pitterroll.
Give me Booner. Wait, was that?
Booner.
I don't even know his name. Booner.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
That is your main card.
Okay.
Folks, when we do our predictions, you guys can chime in with us. We would love to hear from you guys what your comments are, who you think would win each one. Hit us up here, or if you want, leave a comment. We'll get to it. So,
I have a question to you about boxing, though. If you don't, yeah, I have a question about boxing, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So because I don't know this, so I'm just asking if you know this. Do you know that like, have you heard of overtime boxing? Because I know that like, overtime is a sports channel, obviously, but now they have boxing. I don't know if you know about it.
I don't know about that, but you can always ask our guest.
Okay, I'll ask him. Yeah.
So why don't we switch?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I'm asking because I know people that work there now at the network, so I'm gonna ask our guest when he comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we switch a little bit of gear and get into a little bit of wrestling?
Yeah.
Because yes, we're on the road to WrestleMania, but there's a lot that came out this past week.
Sure, and it's SmackDown is live right now. It's live right now.
Yes,
So
but
there's more.
the thing I'm talking about the most is this.
Oh my Christ! Yeah. We got to talk about that for sure.
Let's dive right into this one.
Yeah.
The Rock versus Cody.
The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, but yeah, mostly The Rock.
This is actually taking more of a precedent than anything else in that entire match.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this segment reminded me of the Attitude Era when when they were showing blood and all that.
Yes,
this is the best segment we've had in like a decade. in a very long time.
I saw a statistics. Monday Night Raw is the highest ranking out of everything between WWE and AEW right now.
Correct.
And it's all because of this storyline the most. Well, I should point to that one.
Correct.
But now, speaking of AEW, you have a AEW superstar who was with the WWE saying this. He's saying that he actually bluntly says, "Fuck you, Rock." To me, the storyline, I think, is getting a little too personal.
No. I think it's good. I love it, man. I love it.
Don't get me wrong, Costa. I love it. But I think it's going in a direction that people didn't want to see.
We'll see. I guess it'll all, to be honest, it'll all culminate at WrestleMania, I guess.
Now, I don't know if you saw X or Instagram or actually TikTok, but there, excuse me, there's a video that shows this portion when they were outside. Okay.
Yeah.
You see The Rock turn and says, "Oh, the show's over." Fuck that. I mean, he literally cursed and says, "Oh, take your script and shove it up your ass because I get the final say."
He whipped him with the belt, right? Yeah.
Yes.
He whipped him with the belt.
And he turned and told the cameraman, "Get a close up of this."
Yeah, exactly.
So
I love The Rock.
So he's actually going off script.
Yeah.
Because he said, "Take your script and shove it up your ass."
I love The Rock. No, he's the best heel ever. He's the best heel ever, man. I love The Rock. He's the best.
But now there's also rumors that 2 of these 3 guys are somehow going to play a part in something at WrestleMania.
I definitely, I don't know about Undertaker or John Cena, but I definitely have a feeling that the Stone Cold is going to be there for sure. I think we're going to hear the glass break one more time at least.
I think it's going to be Stone Cold and
John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I don't know. Like I can see why Stone Cold would come there, but the other 2, I don't know. But I can see why Stone Cold.
The reason I say John Cena is because John Cena has history with The Rock.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Stone Cold, of course, has had his history with The Rock. The Undertaker says he's retired. He's retired. He doesn't want any more in-ring persona or anything like that.
Yeah. I agree with you.
That's going to be the interesting part.
Yeah.
Now, before we go into commercial,
yeah,
let's talk AEW.
Sure.
AEW put something out a few days ago, and I actually like it.
What?
New logo.
Oh, yeah. The new logo, yeah. I love that.
I like it.
That actually looks pretty clean, yeah.
I mean, granted, it's 5 years later, but you know what? It actually works.
It works. And also, I don't know if you saw this either, but Samoa Joe, uh, they copied he put the final boss on his merchandise. So I don't
Correct.
know. Yeah,
He doubled down on him.
Yeah, that's a blatant copy though. That's a blatant copy though.
I wouldn't say it's a blatant copy because the boss, who was the original boss?
The original boss?
Hmm? Who was the one that called themselves the boss for the longest time? Come on, dude. Come on.
Samoa Joe.
I'm going to smack you across your head.
What?
I'm going to come up to Canada and smack you across your head. Who called themselves the boss?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Hey, I don't know. I don't know.
How about Mercedes Martinez?
Oh.
Well, Mercedes Monet.
Monet. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. You're right.
She called herself the boss.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Now The Rock is saying he's the boss.
No. Yeah, you're right. Even though Mercedes Monet is my favorite, I don't know how I forgot about that. Yeah. Wow.
Jesus Christ, dude. You call yourself a fan.
Hey. No, doubting my fanhood. Yeah, I'm just, I have a headache, like I said, and it's bothering me. So, yeah.
But also, too, Daniel Bryanson came out and said something about Will Ospreay, and you know what? I agree with him.
Yes.
Will Ospreay is this generation's savior.
Daniel Bryan is this generation's Daniel Bryan, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I love Will Ospreay. I think, like you said, he's like the not up and coming wrestler, but he's like the best wrestler right now is Will Ospreay.
Yes, and he's this generation's savior, as Daniel Bryanson said, and he's right.
Yes. He's right.
Because he knows all the technical moves, the mindset, the mind games you need to be amazing talent.
Correct. I agree.
I
love
have
Will
one
Ospreay.
or other, but he's got all of it in one. You know who he reminds me of, actually?
Who?
And it's going to blow your mind. Chris Jericho.
Ooh, that's a huge comparison.
Because Chris Jericho has the mindset for all. Yes, this SOB is in his 50s. But you know what? He has the mindset.
Yeah.
He has the technical wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows how to play the games.
I agree with you. That's true.
But also, too, last Wednesday, which I forgot to talk to you about when we did our show last week.
Yeah, what happened?
Hook went up against Jericho, and Hook won.
Yeah, that was actually an amazing match. I saw that. I remember seeing that. Yeah, that was an amazing match. It was incredible, yeah.
Do you want to know that we made history in a way?
Why? How?
Because Taz pinned Jericho, and now Hook pinned Jericho.
You're right. I don't know how I'm forgetting these today. Yeah, you're right.
But also, too, Jericho put Hook over.
Yeah. And that's basically his job. Right? He's like the John Cena. Well, I don't know. But the John Cena of the AEW is like, his job is to put other wrestlers over.
Because he actually showed you that Hook is a professional wrestler.
And a future up and coming talent for sure. Yeah.
He's not just a name.
Or he didn't just get there because his dad is there.
Correct.
He can actually wrestle.
Yes. So, Casso, how about this? In about 5 minutes, our guest is going to come in. He's going to be here. Why don't we go to a commercial, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more wrestling until our guest gets here.
Sure thing. Let's do it.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Back, folks. So, Costa, as we were talking about a little bit of AEW, what else do you want to bring up about AEW before our guest comes in? Because you know what? Our guest knows a lot about WWE, a little bit of AEW now. We'll talk more with them about that. And it's something that happened in UFC. So let's talk about AEW right now.
Yeah. I just want to reiterate my excitedness for Mercedes Moné's return to actual wrestling, right? So I think that she's gonna be she's like the standard, as she says, the standard for women's wrestling. Like even right now, even without being in WWE, I think she's the standard within all of women's wrestling in general. That's a big statement for me, but that's how I feel right now.
No, you're right. Her coming back to wrestling after leaving WWE, going to New Japan, finishing out the whatever contract she had there.
Yeah.
Sat back for a little bit, and everybody speculated she was going to go back to WWE, going to go to AEW, go to MLW. She signed with AEW.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's a 3 to 5 year contract.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, I think she's like getting like a
lot of money. A boat ton of money.
I think a boatload, a boatload of money,
that's something I wish I could do, but that's another point.
Yeah.
But with her signing, it's now going to elevate the women's division.
The women's division within AEW, because before Mercedes Moné's arrival, it's been like, so to me it's been a bit bland, really. So hopefully,
this past Wednesday night, which I didn't get a chance to watch, because I was doing another show.
Yeah.
I did record it though. I gotta rewatch it, but Moné was actually on commentation for a fatal 4-way match.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't hear what you said though. I didn't hear what you said. Yeah.
Like I said, I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, so do I.
And real quick, switching back over to WWE, somebody makes their debut today on SmackDown.
Really?
Jade Cargill makes her debut on SmackDown.
Oh, Jade Cargill. Oh man. Wow. Okay. So she's ready. I guess she's ready to wrestle. That would mean.
So she did her time at the Performance Center.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of NXT.
Yeah.
But they're bringing her up to the main show, up to SmackDown.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Shout out to Jade Cargill there. Wow. Okay. I want to see how she's gonna do. I have to watch it later, because they do a replay like from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I'm gonna watch it later and see how it went. Yeah. How everything went.
Also, too, at AEW, rumors was going around that MJF was going to go over to WWE. He's been out of the picture.
I know. I still think he's dealing with injuries, and I think
he's still dealing with injuries, but he actually was up in Boston talking with Tony Khan and the team about a new contract.
Yeah, I think he's gonna sign. I think he's ultimately gonna sign with AEW.
I think he'll get the money, because you know what? He's making them money.
Yeah, he is. And speaking of MJF, he's also with somebody that's close to lives in my city, or used to, in Alicia too. So yeah, I know them. I know them very well. So I'm just saying that. Yeah.
Which, you know what? I'm happy for them.
Yeah, me too. It's well deserved. Even though he called her Tits McGee, he called her Tits McGee at the press conference. But yeah.
But you know what? He's the heel that we need nowadays.
Yeah, I agree.
You've had Bully Ray for years.
Yeah.
Now it's MJF. And he is straight to that character 24/7.
Yeah, 24/7, exactly.
So
I love it, man. I love MJF, no doubt.
Oh, big time.
He does a great job. Even when he's not supposed to do it, he does it anyway.
Yep.
That's a sign of a good heel.
Just reminding our guests that we're ready for him.
Okay. No worries.
So,
yeah,
with MJF being out, yeah, it hurts because everybody expects him to be untouchable, but he got injured. Hey, it happens.
I know he got injured. Yeah, he got injured. Yeah, and he was like the biggest thing for like months and years for AEW. So
yes,
he deserves a break, man. He deserves a break.
Oh, big time. Yeah. You can't go wrong with him.
Well, another thing I love about AEW is like I think they call themselves, I don't know, like I forgot the name now, but it's another version of the Bullet Club, which is the golden. What is it? The golden.
Yeah, that's right. It's something like that.
Yeah, the Golden Club or something like that. Yeah, I love them. Yeah. I love them. I'm just forgetting the name right now, but I love them. They're doing a good job.
Yep. Jay White and all them, yeah.
Yeah, Jay White, exactly. Jay White. I love Jay White. Jay White is he's a good actor, man. He's a good actor. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. You know what?
Ring of Honor is starting to slowly pick up again, which is
exactly
by AEW.
Exactly.
They got an actual pay-per-view on Friday next week.
Correct. Yeah. Also about just backtracking a little bit to New Japan. I think New Japan has a partnership with AEW, so it's like kind of connected. Yes. And so I think that's what made it easier for Mercedes Moné to also go to agree to terms with AEW, is because they had a partnership with New Japan Wrestling as well.
Yes.
So that kind of thing that kind of thing makes it easier to make it happen.
Yep. And hold on one second. I'm actually going to pull up something with them.
Okay.
And yes, so they have it with Ring of Honor, TNA. It actually doesn't say how long these are, but these are the partnerships, I guess, that they're current.
Okay.
Yes, these are the current ones that they have. New Japan has with companies. You have AEW.
Yeah.
You have All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And Casa, before we go any further, our guest is here.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friends and a legendary writer in the boxing world for the past 42 years, Mr. Rich Mancuso.
Not legendary. I tell you every week on my program.
You are a legend in our eyes.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Carl. How are you guys tonight? I'm really busy. I don't know how much longer I can stay. This time of year, it's between the heavy boxing calendar, the start of the baseball season, and then at WrestleMania. I'm multitasking, and I'm on deadline with a Mets opening day. And getting away from them. And I got a boxing piece to write after. It never stops.
So, Rich, we actually held off talking about one incident that happened in UFC that you spoke about on your show.
Yeah.
Keep it in the ring.
Yep.
So why don't we get into that? And it's this photo right here.
Yeah. And then he came out finally with a statement yesterday. and looks like he's apologizing, Severino, and he's looking to get himself reinstated. Now, harsh. I really felt that he's wrong. I'm not saying that he was right what he did, and I said that on the program this week on Keep It in the Ring on our YouTube page and your channel AGT Network. But I think it was too harsh. I don't know why the UFC can't give this guy another break. I mean, I think it's harsh because it's going to have a repercussion if he wants to fight in another MMA event somewhere else with another promoter. And I don't think that you can issue a fine and a suspension just like they did with the Tyson Holyfield bite of the year years back. But this obviously is a different situation in the protocol of Dana White and the UFC that they won't tolerate. He's sending a message.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a message, but I felt the penalty was much too severe to ban him, to say you can no longer fight a UFC event under the Dana White banner. Give the guy a chance. It was his debut. It might have been an inadvertent mistake. And from his apology statement that we read this morning, Carl and Costa, I believe that he really meant it, and that he deserves another chance and could have been fined and suspended instead of been banned from the promotion.
Right. And what they could have done was turn and says, okay, you got a 1-year ban.
Yeah.
If it's a 1-year ban, I can understand. But completely saying you're banned, it's basically banned for life. That's too harsh.
Yeah, I felt just you're messing with the guy's career, and what could have been a mistake on his part, which he admitted to was a mistake. So, I mean, I'm looking at his comments now again that you sent to me this morning, Carl.
Yes.
And if you want to put it up or read it, or let me get it again out here, and we can analyze his comments, which I think are important. Yeah, I'm going to pull it up because you sent it to me, and I'm going to pull it up. And based on his comments from what I read, so he said this. He said, I remember everything that was happening till I get hit with something really hard. I watched a video. I thought it was an elbow. From there, I was in autopilot. I don't remember anything. Now, I don't know if I could believe that. I've never done anything outside the barriers of the sport. I could believe that. But he couldn't comprehend what was going on, which brings into focus that not comprehending what went on. Well, your mentality is in there. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing except to defeat your opponent. That applies also into boxing as well because it's so mental. But to say that he could justify nothing, and then anybody says things look pretty bad for me now. I want people to see the person I am. And frankly, we don't know much about Severino because this was his debut. Give me a chance to come back and redeem myself. Definitely a good statement to make. Please let me show you who I really am. And I agree with that. He deserves another chance. Again, what he did was wrong. Whether it was intentional or not, from it sounds like it wasn't intentional. Not like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson back then knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
he knew. So you got to give the kid another chance. It was his debut, and you can't just let him on his debut because of a thing like this. Ban him completely.
Right. And also, too, he went on to say that his family received threatening messages in the aftermath of the incident.
Yeah, that too is uncalled for.
The State Athletic Commission has placed a hold on his purse.
Right.
Pending a disciplinary hearing.
Right. Now, that I can understand, and I agree with that because the Nevada State Athletic Commission is known to do things like that. In boxing, they do it many times in the history of the sport and championship fights in Nevada. They are one of the most strict athletic governing bodies in the sport around the country with commissions or athletic control boards with their rules and procedures and medical protocols. So that I agree with, and they have every right to do that because this was something again that it's inadvertent or whatever you want to say, guys, but to fine him or suspend him or hold back his purse better than a ban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And since we also have you on your show, which is Keep It in the Ring, live every week right here on the AGT network and on your YouTube page for Rich Mancuso, you do a wrestling segment.
Right.
And we were talking about this photo here.
Again. Yeah.
Costa and I spoke about it earlier, but we want to get your take on this.
Attitude Era back in WWE. Yes. And I love it. I love it. You see that a lot in AEW, and now with Triple H in control and a whole new regime. Attitude Era is back. A great spot to build up more for WrestleMania. I thought that was fantastic. And then on The Rock on Instagram page today, went a little further when the cameras went off. I saw that.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys did.
Yes,
cursing, unorthodox for The Rock, but he's the heel now. And telling the cameras to get out of his way, and he's cursing and everything else. And great Monday Night Raw, one of their best in a long time, and a build-up to WrestleMania, and it couldn't have been done better.
Now, I was actually telling Costa that they actually put numbers out there, and Monday Night Raw right now is the hottest commodity in all of pro wrestling between AEW and WWE. And it's all because of this particular feud.
And
if we didn't have this feud, I think AEW were going to be close to something, but this is actually propelling WWE higher.
Yeah, well, it's a WrestleMania. They're days away. And that's their big show, and the 2 nights. And that adds to it. People are going to watch. The Rock added even more to it, bringing him into the picture now as a heel. Yes. And this is developing into a 2-night extravaganza of the Bloodline, Cody, and Roman Reigns. And more so, where does this lead up to? I just read just about an hour ago different perspectives on how the 2 nights could end up. And the fact that it could be leading to Reigns and The Rock, which I do expect to hold maybe for SummerSlam again, because The Rock, we discussed this Tuesday night again, Carl, because The Rock's going to take some time off, supposedly to film another movie venture. And maybe the Bloodline breaking up, and maybe Heyman ending up with The Rock, or Heyman ending up with another member or 2 of the Bloodline from the family. It could go any way right now. Any way. But I do still expect Cody, and we'll talk more about this on the program Wednesday night as we preview on Keep It in the Ring WrestleMania. I still expect Cody to finish the story and The Rock to play a major role in that Cody gets the belt and The Rock walks off as a good guy again, leading up to him and Reigns at SummerSlam. That's what I expect. But, they change storylines as quick as we can talk about them.
Right. Now, also, too, on your show, we brought about these 3 gentlemen right here. Somehow 2 of them are going to be an important role in WrestleMania.
That too, to play a role.
We don't know yet.
I think you're going to see the Cena and Austin play a role in that match night 2. I believe that's going to happen. You're going to see the 2 of them. They might even play a role in the tag match the night before. The Undertaker, I think, is just going to be in the backdrop somewhere. I think he'll be there. Will Austin actually get physical? Yes, I believe he will. So that's another theory coming out of this. So that's why this WrestleMania number 40 it has so much interest, because you don't know what's going to happen on both nights with these 2 main events and all the other matches. I mean, I'm trying to monitor SmackDown as we talk also. there's so much to this WrestleMania, and I've seen them all. I've been to so many of them that we just don't know what the outcomes will be. Even with CM Punk commentating for the Rollins McIntyre match, yes, and with the contracts of some of the talent not renewed as of yet, you got to wonder. Rollins, Becky Lynch, even McIntyre, and so forth. So where do they go with these titles? Because contracts are expiring and have not been re-signed, as far as we know, going into WrestleMania. So many implications, so many things are going to happen. So this WrestleMania, I tell you, you're not gonna move from your seat for 2 nights.
I love, just to add something about Drew McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre's promos. I love them. He's nailing it out of the park. The way he talks in the microphone, I love it, man. They need to re-sign Drew McIntyre for sure.
Oh, they'd be fools if they don't, and I expect them to. And they'd be fools if they don't re-sign Becky Lynch, and I expect them to. And the same goes with Rollins. They'd be, Seth Rollins is my favorite. And I don't see any of them escaping and going to AEW. That's not happening. They're WWE and they'll resign. It just hasn't happened yet, which that blows my mind.
Oh, definitely.
They're probably waiting last minute until WrestleMania's like fully in the scope, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're probably waiting last minute.
Now, Costa, you actually had a boxing question earlier in our show. And I said to hold it for our guest. Since he is a boxing writer, he would know all this.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, do you know, I think it's a new promotion or a new sports program, but do you know about overtime boxing?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
I think they have some intriguing matchups coming up, and I wanted to ask you because I think I know of 2 of the I guess commentators that are commentating those matches for overtime boxing. I think one of their names is AK or AK Barack or something like that. But I know 2 of the commentators that work there, and I want to know your take on overtime boxing as a whole. If you can.
Well, I haven't seen any of their shows. I've read about them. They're not a major player in the sport as of yet because they don't have any top name talent on their under their banner. So I don't know much about what I'm seeing from what I'm reading and I'm observing is they're bringing up upcoming fighters, which is good and all, because those are the way the fighters get attention and push their way up the ladder. So it's very possible that overtime could become a player, and they're not on one of the major streaming networks as of yet. I think you can see them on YouTube and some other minor pay-per-view channels that are out there that stream boxing. But I've heard some great things about them, and they're a promotion that could only go up the ladder and get better. But they have a lot of competition because you still got Matchroom. You have Top Rank. You got Golden Boy, the PBC, which is debuting tomorrow night on Amazon Prime pay-per-view. So they have a long way to go. And the only way to do that is to be consistent and to sign some top fighters in the market, in the business. But that requires a lot of money, and I don't think they have the ability to do that as of yet.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. You take on. I know 2 of the.
You're breaking up, Costas. I can't hear
you. Unfortunately, sometimes his headset does that on him.
Oh, so does mine.
So yeah, I just wanted to get your take on it, and because I know 2 of the, like I said, I know 2 of the commentators that work there. So thanks for your take on it, sir.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Now, also too, Rich, earlier in our show, we were talking about UFC, and June 22nd in Saudi Arabia is a UFC bout. It's going to be aired free on ABC.
You got me on that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Well, their UFC is aligned with ESPN as well, but I didn't know they were free on ABC, and that's nice. Nice to hear. I didn't know that.
That was, I'm going to pull that back up.
The main event for June 22nd is Chimaev and Whitaker.
Whitaker. Yes. That's June 22nd.
And that's free on ABC. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's their first event in Saudi Arabia. UFC will put on its first event in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's becoming a boxing capital as well.
Yeah,
yep.
It is.
So it's a UFC Fight Night
Mm-hmm.
that will air free on ABC.
Wow. That's a nice coup for them. I didn't know that. Well, it's probably ESPN production. Is that a Saturday night?
Yeah, I think so.
I will look at that right now for you. I believe it might be.
Yeah, because that's usually a sports time for ABC as well. And that's good in June. That's great to hear. Look forward to that. And you got me. I didn't know that.
So,
terrific news. That's great.
In the boxing world, what big news do you have in the boxing world that you would love to bring onto our show tonight?
Well, nothing more than what we already announced. I think what everyone is waiting for, as always, is who am I going to bring up, Carl?
Conor McGregor.
No.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. I think the entire boxing world awaits April 20th, but even before that, because it continues every day. Ryan Garcia on social media, one unusual, crazy, or cryptic message on Twitter and Instagram, and wondering if his if it's just an act, or if his mental capability isn't there. To be determined, but there's a lot of talk. He's in great shape. I talked to someone earlier today. He's been training hard, and you could see that from the images and videos that he shows also on his social media handles. But his mental capability, is this an act, or is he just hyping up a fight that doesn't need much hype at all? Or is if you ask me, Ryan Garcia is not mentally sane right now.
No.
He's admitted that he's come out and he had a mental illness, and he still says that he suffers from mental illness, that he does have an issue with that, and he's been treated for it and talks with therapists and whatever. So that alone adds to the dilemma here about Ryan Garcia and his mental capability. The question again is, how far more is he going to take this before it's known that he's not mentally able to fight? But I'm hearing that he's fine. He's doing this just to be a part of his attention grabbing Ryan Garcia that he is. But I don't know. I can't be convinced about that because those messages sound real.
Yeah, especially like the one that you had on. Unfortunately, you had the incident down in Baltimore, and he supposedly predicted that.
Yeah, that's what he says. And then he says that he's celibate. He's not having any more sex. But he's fighting for the children of the world, which, if he is, he's not doing it the right way. With his messages, that he's coming out with platforms of how children's minds are being poisoned, they're being drugged, and so forth, and on and on and it goes. This is what Ryan Garcia is coming to be known as, and hopefully is not his legacy. Now, if you ask me about the fight, he doesn't win it, and I don't think he's going to handle Devin Haney with any type of ease, and it's going to be difficult for him to even try and score a knockout. Devin Haney is just too far superior than him. The Ryan Garcia will dispute that every way, and Garcia is intimidating Haney on Twitter, and they going back and forth now on Twitter, and it'll be that way until they get to the final press conferences in Brooklyn on April 20th. That fight week should be really interesting if Ryan Garcia makes it to April 20th. And there's a lot of questions about that right now.
Well, also too, one of the other big stories you've been talking about that we kind of brushed off now is the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
I won't even discuss that because to me that's just spectacle, as I mentioned on the program call.
Yep.
Spectacle, money. That's all it is. And you hope Tyson don't get hurt and he wears headgear because this fight does not show anything for Paul, who wants to take on formidable opponents to become a force in boxing. Fighting Mike Tyson is not the route or step to go to do that. And Mike Tyson certainly, he needs money and he's going to make some here before the IRS takes a good chunk of it again from him. But Mike Tyson doesn't need to do this as well. He doesn't need attention. However, the public's going to buy into it on Netflix pay-per-view because the two iconic names right now, Tyson's iconic as it is, and of course, Jake Paul has his tremendous social media following and attention that he gets being a pro fighter right now or an MMA fighter, and he might take the next step and join his brother Logan and become a tag team in WWE. And I wouldn't doubt that's going to happen before long. But I'm not talking about the fight. I won't, because it's a spectacle to make a lot of money, which it will, as I have no interest in it. And Jake Paul, to be legitimate again, has to fight formidable people. He says he's the best fighter in the world. Well, this is not going to show that.
No, you're just getting your ass whooped by an old guy.
Right. And you hope
training harder than any time before. It's like he's still 20 years old.
And you hope Mike Tyson doesn't get hurt, that he wears headgear. Because let's face it, Jake Paul's gotten better in his last 3 fights. You see different Jake Paul than we saw. Though he would, except for the Fury fight that he lost, he's looked so much better. And he's punching harder, and he's using the ring better, generalship, as I call it. And he could hurt Tyson. If Tyson, though, looks like he's a 21-year-old. But he needs to wear headgear because he's 58 years of age.
He should stay out of the ring.
Agree.
But Rich, I know you said when you came on tonight, you're busy with everything you got going on.
Yeah.
Where can our listeners find you?
All right. Well, we're on YouTube and the AGT network, and Keep It in the Ring on Facebook. We're live. It seems like we're going live. You're the boss on that. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. And people out there could reach me on Twitter, which is now X at Ring786, and Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. And I'm also on Instagram. You can find me there. But the best way, watch us every week here on the AGT Network Live, Wednesday evenings, 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern. Right now, that's how we're doing it. But I'll try and get back to everyone. I hope people could watch because I feel what we're doing on Keep It in the Ring. I make mistakes. I made more. I called Costazu, his father's name this week. Now, if you know Rich Mancuso, I make these mistakes. We're doing live programming. Mistakes will happen. But I realize I make one too many. And look, I'm getting older. I don't know how much longer I'll be in this business. Of 42 years I've been doing this shit. So I don't know why I make these mistakes. But then I realize it and I rectify myself, correct it. I promise next week on the program not to call Costazu, his father, which I did continually during our hours program. Keep It in the Ring this week. Botching up names, well, anybody could do that. I'm getting better at it. And but we're doing things differently because what I think we're doing different from some of the other shows is not only previewing some of the fights in the MMA and the wrestling, but going more deeply and analyzing stuff, and me giving more opinion about what's going on out there in the sport that I love so much, even with wrestling and some little bit of MMA, being more opinionated and having some guests on when we can to ask their opinion about this. And also like the fact that I can do a throwback fight like we did this week, and we talked about Doug DeWitt and Tony Thornton in the 80s in Atlantic City, and how that fight on the USBA rules at the time ended up after 12 rounds in a draw, and they went to a USBA rule of going to a championship fight to a 13th round that I covered, talking about that a bit, and also doing the fact of the week, which I love to do. I'm right now without a guest. Carl is trying to get my facts of the week, not trivia, and he can't get them.
True.
So that's why the program, I believe, is different from others, and why I want people to watch. I would want people to log on, subscribe to the AGT network and my channel on YouTube, because what I'm doing is different, and I feel it's being different. Yeah, I'm doing the same stuff others do, giving the fights and going over and doing a little more an analysis, but being a little more opinionated, which I like to do because I've been around the game a long time, and a lot today don't give that opinion that I do, and I try to say what's right and what's wrong.
Right. Now, also too, a few times during the wrestling segment, you actually had old photos of wrestling shows you actually put together back in the late or early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize you were involved in wrestling besides boxing.
Yes. The history of Rich Mancuso goes into so many facets of the industry, besides covering regular sports, but pro wrestling was a major part of my career and my life. And today, now I'm more regulated as a fan watching from the outside, still with contact with some of the old pro wrestlers of the past that I worked with. And we talk about how the business and industry has changed. A lot of stories. But yeah, Keep It in the Ring came up in the 1990s, doing WFAN Sports Talk Radio at 3 a.m. with Jody McDonald. And had a tremendous audience at 3 a.m. Saturday night / Sunday morning, where we talked pro wrestling. And back then, no internet, no social media, so the rumors were all out there. And I was one of the major informants of what could be happening, who's coming in, who's leaving, what would be the outcome with all that. It wasn't social media then. It wasn't. The dirt sheets existed, including the beginnings of Dave Meltzer and the Observer newsletter, who was great to me back then. But it was a program like I had, Keep It in the Ring with Jody McDonald on WFAN. It reached a lot. And today, a lot of those fans still hit me up on Facebook and on social media. When am I doing that again? I'm trying to tell them now, go come to Keep It in the Ring on the network, on AGT and YouTube with me. But a lot of those programs of me and Jody Mack are handled on YouTube. A fan of mine, I don't remember his name, was good enough to do it. It caught me by surprise, because when you Google on YouTube Rich Mancuso, Keep It in the Ring, WFAN, you're going to hear a lot of those old programs, and I'm fascinated. I to this day, when I hear that stuff, guys, I still can't believe what I did, because there was no social media then. At 3 a.m. A lot of people didn't get much sleep on the weekends because of me.
But Rich, I know you're busy. We're gonna let you go, and we will be in touch.
Yep.
So
I will see you Wednesday night.
We want to thank you for coming on tonight.
I wish I could do more. Yeah, I wish I could do more time with you, but it's just, I'm on a deadline. This editor just texted me. Who?
If we don't have credentials for Friday Night Ring of Honor, why don't you come on and let's preview again WrestleMania?
Next Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if I'm out at the ballpark, I might be at Yankee Stadium, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
My life is consumed with baseball now too, and soccer, MLS soccer. It's crazy. And yet doing all, I do everything. I got to keep going. I won't retire yet. I want to, but I'm not. What?
Rich, do you come out to Jersey for the Red Bulls?
No, I will not go to that place. I will never ever go there again. It's a nightmare getting in there to get there. I will not do it. No, I don't cover them. And when NYCFC plays there because they don't have a permanent home, I won't go. You cannot get into that area.
No.
I 2 years ago, last year, I had a very bad experience getting there. By the time I got there, the game was almost over. The match with NYC and Red Bull. I will never.
For this. Where Red Bull Stadium is worse than going into New York City.
No, not go there. No.
Wow.
No. And if you take Pat train there, it'll take you forever.
Yep.
But parking there is it's turmoil to park. And if you get on the turnpike, whatever, to get into that area, into Harrison, and try and get to that arena, it's a nightmare unless you leave 5 hours before. And there's no way I'm doing that. So I will never, ever go. It's a beautiful arena. And I've never been in there, but I've seen it on videos and stuff and from people experience it. But to get there, they will tell you the same. It's a nightmare. At my age and what I do, no way.
Okay.
No. NYCFC.
I'll stick. Next time you're back here in Jersey is for another boxing event.
Prudential Center. I think Shakur Stevenson is signed to fight there in June. Yeah. That came out today. I'll talk about that on the program Wednesday night.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll probably do Wednesday night. Prudential Center. I'll talk about that. In Atlantic City, of course. If there's fights there of importance, I'll go to that.
Well, Costa and I were just talking. They actually have a UFC fight tomorrow night in Atlantic City. The main event is Erin Blanchfield versus Marion Parrott. And Erin Blanchfield is actually going, if she wins, she gets the chance to go for the title.
All right, we'll monitor that and talk about it on the program Wednesday.
Yes, because she's actually from my hometown.
All right, deal, Carl. You watch that. I'll be watching PBC Amazon Prime pay-per-view. I have to see Tzu, not Katazu, Tzu, and the Tower Inferno, Sebastian Fundora, and Romero Cruz against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Wally Romero against Isaac Pitbull Cruz plus Astriano Lara. 3 championship matches on that pay-per-view. It's going to be a dynamite debut for the PBC on Amazon Prime. So I'll monitor that. You monitor the UFC, okay?
You got it, brother. And I'll talk to you later. We might have to move your show to Thursday. We'll talk.
Oh, that might be better for me. So let me know, though.
If that's better for you, I'll book it right now. Thursday night.
No, we'll talk about it because I don't know my schedule Thursday as of yet.
Oh, okay.
All right. Blessings for a happy Easter if you observe, guys. And as always, what do I say?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring. All right, guys. Thank you. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Rich. Folks, again, as he says, he's not a legend, but in our eyes, he's a legend in the sports world, especially boxing and wrestling. That's Mr. Rich Mancuso.
Sir.
Costa, what did you think of his time with us?
Yeah, I think it was very informative, very informational, and he Mr. Rich Mancuso definitely knows what he's talking about, man. Definitely. So tune into his show as well. Folks, keep it in the ring.
As we said, you gotta check out his show. Yes, I'm the producer of his show, like I do every other show here. But you know what? What information he brings to you, you can't beat.
I know.
His opinions mean a lot.
They do, and they're very on target. They're very on target.
And he tries to get top-notch guests on his shows.
Definitely.
We were actually supposed to have Mr. Keith Thurman on our show, and unfortunately, we had a technical issue.
Okay.
Didn't come on, but he was supposed to be the main event tomorrow night and got injured. We spoke about that on on his show Wednesday night. We showed the injury and the medical report.
Okay.
And we actually have a comment coming in, our first one, from Sophia. She goes, hey guys, sorry I'm late. So if you're fine, I know where you were. You're all good. But
all good.
Again, like I said, folks, our shows, this show here, Rich Mancuso show, and our fans from the stands, which is Mr. Costa, right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get better opinions than what we give you, because you know what it is? It's our perspective, our opinions on these matches, these shows, and it's our personal opinion because we're the fans of this. We're fans just like you are.
We try to keep bias.
Costa, just take your headset off for now.
So sorry about that, everyone. Sorry about that. But our jobs is to give you unbiased opinions and perspectives on our favorite shows and events, which include wrestling, UFC, and MMA. So we try our best to give you non-biased opinions and opinions that you might enjoy, and opinions that are maybe play two sides of the coin, where maybe we have a different opinion on things, but we try our best to give you the best show possible. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it.
And also too, Costa and I, if you notice, when we were doing the bare knuckle fighting, we didn't pick the same fighter.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing about our shows is when we discuss it, yes, we have our, especially in a sports show, you could disagree about everything. You don't have to be agreeing to the same thing, and that's what we do here.
Exactly. You see other shows always agree on things, and to me that's not how it should be. But it just we freely express our opinions here, and we hope you enjoy it. That's all.
Exactly. So, unfortunately, folks, I'm out of things to talk about. Costa, do you have anything you want to bring up?
I'm good.
You're
for
muted.
Today.
Okay. So,
I'm good.
At this time, folks, we're almost an hour and 25 minutes, which is the most we've been. We appreciate everybody watching us. We thank again Mr. Rich Mancuso for coming on, taking the time out of his busy schedule. You want to check out our Facebook page because he actually posts things on there too. So whatever he writes goes on to ours. So you want to check that out. All right?
Correct.
Folks, we'll catch you again next Friday if I'm not in Philadelphia for Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I'll keep you posted on that one.
Yes, keep me posted on that. Yeah, definitely.
So again, for Costa, I'm Carl. This is the Main Event Podcast, and we thank you so very much.
Shout out to everyone at AEW, by the way. Yeah.
Yes. See you all later.
See ya.